Here today for sentencing. State of Ohio has had the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report and is prepared to go forward. Thank you.
Your Honor, Mr. Tottarella is 61 years old. After talking to him and reviewing his pre-sentence report, he certainly has had a challenging life, to say the least, starting with his childhood. Things were not well in his household. I think there was some mention in there about being exposed to alcohol back when he was very, very young. He's been exposed to drugs his entire life, Your Honor. Facts of the cases that bring us here today, driving under suspension, those stem, unfortunately, from an aggravated vehicular homicide for which he served 9 years in prison. Your Honor, he was in prison times before that, so he's no stranger to the prison system and the prison culture, Your Honor. He'd like to do something to rectify that. Hopefully, the fact that he was driving, I think in one of these cases he was going to get something to eat and helping a friend move a vehicle. But as he has stated to me, and I think he's put in his pre-sentence report as well, the unfortunate victim in the vehicular homicide can never come back to life. Neither should his driver's license, and he wants to be cognizant of that fact, and he's well aware that it is a lifetime suspension and he needs to take that very, very seriously. He's also relayed to me that while he's been in the Lake County Jail, informed that he has some sort of a heart condition for which he's prescribed some type of heart medication. He also receives lithium at the jail. He's been under the care of Crossroads and has had depression and anxiety. These have been struggles throughout his life, Your Honor. Not only that, due to the friction and issues in the home, it appears he's only obtained a 5th grade education. I don't think anyone else in here can even imagine what that would be like. It's not even the issue of going through 8th grade or 9th grade, but he hasn't even obtained the abilities that we take for granted, such as reading and writing. I'm sure that has made life frustrating and difficult. If he were to be placed on community control, which is what he is asking for by this court.
Mr. Tottarella, what do you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
I'd like to say, first and foremost, judges, I'm ashamed to be in front of you again. I do know the significance to driving under a lifetime suspension. I did, I got a charge of aggravated vehicular homicide many, many years ago, and a person that was dear to me died. And because of that, the judge imposed 9 years out of Cuyahoga. It was a Cuyahoga judge. Along with that sentence was a lifetime suspension. And I didn't realize at the time what that suspension means. Don Escape actually died from a decision I made, Your Honor, and I was granted my life back, my freedom. Therefore, my driver's license must stay to the world of the dead also. I also realized when a Cuyahoga judge imposed that kind of suspension on me, and I took for granted it was disrespectful to that judge. And with respect to this court, I'm going to say it the way I feel it. I might as well just have went ahead and slapped the damn judge in the face. I didn't know that then. I didn't realize that then. But I understand it now, and as far as that van, I could care less about it. I could show this court more that I could complete probation. No dirty urines, no catching cases. Whatever this court imposes on me, I will do. The stuff that my attorney has said to you is all true. I also want to indicate to you at my age, I let a demon go many, many years ago, Judge. I don't want to find that demon again to survive being in the penitentiary. I don't have the health I used to have. And if I could be just given another shot to prove myself, I think that I can make this court proud. I will make the court proud. That's all I have to say, Your Honor.
Mr. Gagrich?
Thank you, Your Honor. State of Ohio entrusts court to fashion a sentence that's appropriate and consistent with other offenders. Thank you.
All right, I've reviewed the pre-sentence report. You've got a long history of felony criminal offenses, serious, F1s and F2s, under one number on 3 separate burglary cases for 3.5 years in 86 to 89. Went back on a robbery in 94 until 01. A couple months later, picked up a kidnapping and a felonious. Went to prison from 02 to 08, December of 08. December 25th of 08, an abduction. Assault. Went to prison for that. Well, included in that was the vehicular homicide, aggravated vehicular homicide. So got out December 22nd of 17, so 9 years. 9 years you were locked up on that. Put on parole. Caught driving under suspension in June of 18, so 6 months after you got out in Menor, you were given a verbal reprimand, whatever the hell that means, by parole. And then in January of 21, another driving under suspension. The parole authority ordered you to follow all court orders and obtain your driver's license. So they weren't paying attention to much of anything, as usual. February of 21, you pick up an aggravated trafficking here. Put on probation, violated for methamphetamine. Now we got this. October 18th of last year, driving under this suspension, this lifetime suspension. Less than 4 months later, driving under suspension again in Eastlake, both in Eastlake. In 09, you were given a lifetime suspension, and 4 times since then, you're driving under suspension. For some reason. Because you wanted to drive. I mean, that's the only reason, is because you wanted to. So you talk about following court orders. You don't follow orders. You wanted to go to McDonald's to get something to eat, so you went to McDonald's to get something to eat.
I never made it to
Well,
McDonald's.
that's where you were going. So the only reason the reason you report you got in the car is you wanted to get something to eat. And you got picked up. That was the second time. So you just keep doing it.
Not anymore, Judge.
What?
Not anymore.
You didn't what?
Not anymore, Judge.
Not anymore. You got a lifetime suspension for causing somebody's death, for which you served 9 years in prison.
Yes.
And since you got out of prison, you got caught driving under suspension 4 separate times.
I'm aware of that, Judge.
All right. Well, I want to make sure that you understand that, because you're telling me you won't do it anymore.
I won't. I promise you.
I don't understand why you did it the first 4 times. I'm sure you did it more than 4 times. You just got caught 4 times.
I only had the van for 3 months.
Why did you buy a van if you had a lifetime license suspension?
To be honest with you, to stay in it.
Okay. Well, then you shouldn't have driven it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
Let me show you, Judge.
What?
Let me show you, please.
What?
Please, let me show you, please.
You showed me everything you could show me when you're driving.
I understand that. Please, Judge. Please. I'll show you. I swear I'll show you.
The most disturbing thing about this case is not necessarily your record. It's horrible, okay? But now here you are again. Here you are again.
Judge, I will not disobey the law. I'll
Well,
follow any instruction, please.
You
I don't have the help.
don't follow instruction, or you wouldn't have been out there driving. You don't follow instruction.
I will, please.
You don't. Okay.
I didn't. But I will, please, Judge.
So I'm going to find you're not amenable to community control. On the 26/2/24, I'm going to sentence you to 12 months in prison. On the 26/2/25, I'm going to sentence you to 18 months in prison. Those sentences will be consecutive to one another. And I find that consecutive service is necessary to protect the public from future crime and for the appropriate punishment, and it's not disproportionate to the seriousness of your conduct and the danger you pose to the public. and your history of criminal conduct demonstrates they are necessary to protect the public from future crime by you. I'll give you credit for 86 days. When you get out, you might be on post-release control for 2 years under the parole authority.
225, either be the forfeiture of the vehicle as per the forfeiture spec.
That vehicle's forfeited. Anything else?
Nothing, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Mulkey?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you. All rise.
In the end, this case wasn't just about a man breaking a driving suspension. It was about a pattern that never stopped. A lifetime license ban was already imposed after a fatal crash that took someone's life. A punishment meant to be final, a line that should never be crossed again. But time after time, that line was crossed anyway. Despite prison, despite supervision, and despite warnings from the court, the defendant kept getting behind the wheel, each decision adding another layer to a long history of criminal behavior that the judge could not ignore. When he asked for another chance, the court had to weigh words against actions, and in this case, the record spoke louder. The judge made it clear, public safety cannot depend on promises alone. At some point, consequences have to match the repeated choices being made. This wasn't just sentencing, it was accountability catching up with a life of repeated violations. And the lesson is simple. When court orders are ignored again and again, the system eventually stops listening to explanations and starts focusing only on outcomes.